This conference will now be recorded.
Hello students. Now we are learning about morphology of flowering plants. So we are doing a quick review of this chapter. We have already learned about root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, different types of inflorescence, and about flower, different parts of flower we have learned. So now we need to learn about fruit. Okay. So fruit, it's a characteristic feature of flowering plants, right? So this is the main feature of flowering plants. Flowering plants will have fruit, and fruit means what? That's a mature or ripened ovary. Ovary is getting ripened or it is getting matured, and that is called as mature ovary. That is the fruit. And how this ovary is developing? It's after fertilization that is getting matured, and that developed or ripened or matured fruit after fertilization, that is called as a fruit. So if fruit is formed without fertilization of ovary, that is called as parthenocarpic fruit. Okay, after fertilization, fruit will form. That is called as the fruit, exact fruit after fertilization. Sometimes without fertilization also fruits will form. That is called as parthenocarpic fruit. Okay. See, in some fruits like grapes, banana, in that and all seeds, we cannot find seed like um, in few fruits you can find a seed, right? So in some fruits this kind of seeds won't be there. Like, in banana, what you can see in the center portion, there is some dark colored dotted structures you can see, right? So that type of fruits where original seeds are not there, they are called as parthenocarpic or seedless fruit. In some grapes also now it is available, right? And parthenocarpy that can be introduced through the application of growth hormones. Okay. Then pericarp, that is the fruit wall. After ripening, the ovary wall that will change to pericarp. And this pericarp may be thick and fleshy, or sometimes it may not be, or it may be thick and hard, or it may be thin and soft. Which one? Pericarp. Okay, the pericarp, the outer one. After ripening, that ovary wall will change into ovary wall. That is changing to pericarp. That is making the pericarp. Okay, so this pericarp may be thick and fleshy. That sometimes it may be thick and fleshy in some fruits, or it may be thick and hard in some fruits, or it is thin and soft. Okay, in fleshy fruit, in the case of fleshy fruits, this pericarp or the fruit wall that is made up of three layers. See here in fleshy fruit, pericarp that is made up of three layers. In fleshy fruits, about fleshy fruits we are saying, the outermost layer, that is epicarp. Okay, outermost layer of fleshy fruit, that fruit wall or a pericarp, that is made up of three layers. The outermost layer of that fruit wall or the pericarp, that is called as epicarp, and the middle layer, that is called as mesocarp, and the innermost layer is the endocarp. Okay, and here you can see two types of fruits. This is mango and this is coconut. Coconut is also a fruit, right? Means biologically when we are saying it's a fruit. right? This is forming after fertilization. So this is also a kind of fruit when we are considering the coconut tree, right? So in fleshy fruit, fruit wall or pericarp is made up of three layers: epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Epicarp, the outer one, meso means in between, you can see. Mesocarp, the middle layer, and the endocarp, the innermost. Endo means inside, the endocarp means the innermost layer. And epicarp, that is the outermost layer, and that outermost layer that may be thick or thin, and sometimes it may be hard or soft. So that forms the outermost layer of fruit, which is also called as rind. The epicarp is also called as rind. Okay, this is the outermost layer. Then what about mesocarp? Mesocarp is the middle layer, and that is thick and fleshy. In which one? Here you can see the mesocarp. Mesocarp is very thick and fleshy. In which one? In mango, right? Here mesocarp is thick and fleshy. And what about the epicarp in mango? Epicarp, that is thin layer. We are removing the epicarp, or that skin like portion we are removing. Then we are eating the mesocarp in mango, right? Then in coconut, think about coconut. In coconut, this is the mesocarp, the coconut shell, that is the mesocarp, right? And which is a seed portion. In mango, here you can see the seed portion. And what about the coconut? Here inside that whitish part, that is the seed portion, right? That is the seed portion in coconut, right? So middle layer, which is thick and fleshy, that is in the case of mango. Then in peach, in date palm, in all these middle layer is thick and fleshy, and that is edible. And in coconut, that layer is made up of fibers, and that is called as coir, right? Which one? In the coconut, mesocarp, which is the mesocarp? Mesocarp is made up of fibers. So that fiber, that is called as coir. And endocarp, that is the innermost layer, we said, right? So that may be thin or that may be membranous. In which one? In orange, date palm and all, it will be thin and membranous, or it will be thick and hard. In mango, endocarp, that is the thick one. Okay, then the true fruit, and there is a concept of true fruit. What is that? When the fruit is developed only from the ovary, then that type of fruit is called as true fruit. Fruit develops only from ovary, that is called as true fruit. Okay, like in mango, coconut and all, you can see the true fruit. Okay, then what is false fruit or pseudocarp? Fruit should develop from the ovary. From the ovary means it is called as true fruit. When a fruit is developing in a place other than some parts, other than some fruits, in the place of ovary from other parts of flower like thalamus, calyx, or from the inflorescence, all these are getting modified into fruit or a part of fruit, means that is called as what? False fruit or pseudocarp. Okay, false fruit or pseudo pseudocarp. If the fruit is developing from any other portion other than the ovary, that is called as pseudocarp. Here, false fruit in apple and strawberry, you can see. Actually, here, this is the exact fruit, the inside portion, the endocarp. Which is the endocarp? Endocarp is this one. Mesocarp is here, right? And here the thalamus is getting modified. This portion, that is the thalamus, it is getting modified into the edible part in the case of apple. So it is not developed from the ovary. Ovary is inside. That is not developed into a fruit in the case of apple. So it's a false fruit or pseudocarp. Here also, in the case of strawberry also, apple, strawberry, pear, mulberry, then fig, cashew nut in that also. That is that and all false fruits. See, here again we are moving to the classification of fruits. Okay, so when we are classifying the fruits, if you are classifying the fruits, you can classify them to simple fruits, then aggregate fruit, composite fruit. Okay, and the simple fruit, that is like it is produced from one flower, and that is produced from monocarpellary or multicarpellary or syncarpous ovary. Okay, and that fruit, that simple fruits, that is divided into fleshy fruit, then dry fruit, and this dry fruit itself is divided into indehiscent, dehiscent, and chesocarpic fruit. And the fruit which is aggregate fruit, in aggregate fruit means that is produced from one flower, and that is produced from bicarpellary to multicarpellary, and they are also called as fruits. Okay, and composite fruit means produced from one entire inflorescence. Okay, from entire inflorescence that fruit is getting produced. So synchronous, that means from hypanthoidium it is getting produced, on sorosis from spikes, spadix, cactin, and all it is getting produced. So that's how we are classifying the fruits. Okay, so here simple fruits, in the sense we said simple fruits, they are getting produced from ovary of monocarpellary gynoecium, monocarpellary gynoecium, or from multicarpellary syncarpous gynoecium. Okay, and one fruit is formed from the gynoecium. Here one fruit is forming. Okay, so simple fruits, that is divided into two types, fleshy fruits and dry fruits. Here fleshy fruits means, in fleshy fruit you can see it is differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp, right? And that fruits are indehiscent. So fleshy fruits, they are of different types. Fleshy fruits, drupe fruits are there. For example, you can see mango, coconut, almond, walnut. In that and all, in mango, the outermost cover or the thin rind, that is called as epicarp, and the middle edible fleshy part is the mesocarp, and the inner hard part, that is the endocarp. Okay, and in coconut, these are common questions. Mango, coconut, and usually we'll get questions from that. In coconut, epicarp is very hard. We have already seen epicarp is very hard. In which one? In coconut, right? And mesocarp is thick and fibrous, and the endocarp is hard, and seed is protected inside that. Okay, and what is the tender coconut water we are drinking? What is that? See, here the coconut water, the sweet water, and the edible part, the whitish edible part, and the sweet coconut water, the liquid, and the solid liquid, whatever we are drinking, and the white edible part, that is endosperm. Okay, the liquid part is the liquid endosperm and the solid one is the solid endosperm. Okay, that is the endosperm which we are eating or drinking in the case of coconut. Okay, liquid endosperm, example that you can see in the tender coconut, that you can see in the coconut. Okay, so the tender coconut water, that is a liquid endosperm. Next comes the berry. Here you can see this is berry type. Okay, so berry, that fruit is developing from mono or multicarpellary condition. Then that ovary will be in the syncarpous condition. That ovary may be superior or inferior ovary, and the placentation, that they will be having axial placentation. We have learned about the placentation, right? So they have the axial placentation. So generally epicarp is very thin membrane, like, and the seeds, they are embedded in the fleshy part. Okay, and the seeds, when it is getting mature, the seeds will get dispersed randomly, that will get dispersed in the fleshy part. See, you can see in the tomato, grapes, brinjal, banana, in all these, which type berries. Okay, then another type fruits are there, like pepo, which is developed from the inferior ovaries. Inferior ovary. Then pome. See that fruit, in that type of fruit, that is developing from the inferior ovary, and that will be having enlarged thalamus also. Apple, pear, all these are false fruits. Okay, so fleshy swollen thalamus, that is the edible part of that type of fruit. The thalamus, that is getting developed into edible part of that fruit. Then balusta is there, which is developing from the inferior ovary. In that example, we can say pomegranate. Okay, and hesperidium, that is having axial placentation, and we can see in orange, lemon, and all examples. See, in these cases, examples are the very important things you need to learn. And next, we need to learn about dry fruits. See, dry fruits, in those also, dry fruits can be divided into indehiscent, dehiscent, and chesocarpic fruits. Then about aggregate fruits. Actually, aggregate fruits, they are developing from multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium. Okay, in apocarpal condition, each carpels are free from each other. Okay, and that is forming, each carpel is forming a fruitlet. So aggregate fruits, they are made up of bunch of fruitlets. See, in the case of jackfruit, you can see this is an aggregate of small fruitlet, right? Each fruitlet, you can see this is one fruitlet, and inside you can see separate seeds. See, this is the fruitlets, and these are aggregated together. That's why aggregate fruit. Example, these are made up of bunch of fruitlets, which is known as heterio. Okay, so that is called as heterio. Clear? So here you can see this stereo. Okay, here itself I'll show you the details. Composite fruits or multiple fruits. See, all composite fruits, all are false fruits. Okay, so in composite fruit, generally whole inflorescence, the whole inflorescence is getting modified into a fruit. So there are two types, sorosis and synchronous or synconium. Okay, so in sorosis, you can see the fruit that is developing from a spike or spadix or catkin inflorescence, and in synchronous or synconium, that fruit develops from the hypanthodium inflorescence. Okay, so jackfruit, here you can see that is a sorosis of jackfruit and synchronous of fig fruit. This is synchronous of fig fruit and sorosis jackfruit. See, now fruit is developed in a plant, but the seeds, how the seeds are getting dispersed, dispersal of fruit and seeds, how it is taking place with different agencies. There are so many. We know that most of the plants, they do not move from one place to another, right? They'll grow, they'll produce flower, fruits, they'll remain fixed at one place, and they cannot be moved from one place to another place. So how these seeds are getting displaced, or seeds are falling directly under the mother plant, and sometimes we need to germinate those and develop under a limited food supply, so and within a limited space. So to overcome this problem, the fruits and seeds which have developed several special devices, and for wide dispersal, the fruit or the plant itself is making a solution. So that is the natural agents like wind, water, animals, and even the mechanism of dehiscence in some fruit that helps that fruit to disperse from one place to another place. Right. So wind is there, water is there, animals are also helping, and some defense mechanism. This dispersal agencies, that is through wind, then water, and animals. Okay, so the defense mechanism is also, a plant is developing defense mechanism in some cases, right? See what and all I can say, like thorns. Some plants will be having thorns, like in pineapple, date palm, and all. You can see sharp pointed spines at the leaf ends, right? Sometimes stinging hairs will be there. Stinging hairs you can see, which will be very sharp. And in some plants you can see the glandular hair, which is having a sticky substances, like Jatropha plant and all. You can see this, right? So all these are the defense structures, or the plant itself is developing defense structures. Then here I have given a list of edible parts of some common fruits. Okay, so you have to note down all these in both the tables. From here in the second table you can see the fruit and which type of fruit, that is also included in the second table. And in the first one, fruit and the edible part. In banana, which part we are eating, or which is the edible part? Mesocarp and endocarp, both we are eating. And coconut palm, endosperm. In date palm, pericarp. In mango, mesocarp, that is a fleshy part. Okay. And in apple, which part is getting modified? Thalamus. That's what we are eating. The edible portion is thalamus. Okay. And pericarp and thalamus in Goa. In cucumber, mesocarp and endocarp we are eating. In orange, which is that edible part? Juicy placental hair. That's what we are eating. Okay. And pineapple, that is the receptacle portion. Then the perianth and bracts. In pea, the cotyledons we are eating. Pea plant, the cotyledons we are eating. And in wheat, maize, rice. In wheat, maize, rice, and all, which is the edible portion, the starchy endosperm. That's what we are eating. In melon, mesocarp. Okay, in cashew nut, the peduncle portion. And in citrus, the endocarp. Okay, and here I have included which type of fruit it is. Okay, so that also you need to note down, like pea, gram, that and all legumes, and orange, that is hesperidium. Then papaya, that is a berry type. Pineapple, sorosis. And pomegranate, that is balusta. And here you can cashew, that is a nut type. Again, date palm, berry. So all these things also you need to note down. You may get questions from that. Definitely you will get a question. See, now we need to learn about few families of angiosperms. Okay, so when we are learning some symbols, we need to learn for writing the floral formula. Okay, to write the floral formula, we have to learn some points. See here, first we will tell about the bracts. Okay, so bracts, whether to show it is bractate or abractate, we will use this symbol. So if it is bractate, we will write BR. Okay, abractate, we'll write EBR. Okay, bractate or abractate we'll write. Then we'll show the second part. This is the first one. Okay, second one, which one we will write? Symmetry of the flower. Okay, second one is the symmetry of the flower. So to show the symmetry of the flower, we need to write whether it is actinomorphic or zygomorphic, right? We need to write actinomorphic. This shows actinomorphic, this symbol. Okay. This is actinomorphic symbol. And zygomorphic means what we will write, percentage or this zygomorphic. Okay. Then next character which we need to do, that is, which we need to explain, that is the sex of that flower. Okay. If bisexual flower means, that means both the male and female, both the parts are there in the flower, means we'll write like this, female part and male part both are there, we'll symbolize like this. And if it is unisexual flower, unisexual or male flower, that we can say that staminate flower, for that we will give the male symbol. And unisexual female flower means we'll give the female symbol, right? Staminate means we'll give the male symbol, and pistillate, which is having the pistil, only the female flower, that means we'll give the female symbol. Then hermaphrodite, that means both are there, or it is a bisexual flower, we'll give the bisexual symbol. Okay. Next we need to tell about the calyx. Calyx. So while writing about the calyx, how we can tell calyx, we will write, we'll give the symbol K. Okay. So here, if you're writing K, that means it is having calyx. And if you're writing, for example, I'm saying I'm writing K4, that means it is having 4 sepals. Calyx means that whole group of sepals, that is together called as calyx, right? So here calyx symbol we are giving K, and if the 4 sepals, here I'm representing the number of that sepals. Here 4 I'm giving means 4 sepals are there in the calyx, and all the 4 sepals are free. 4 sepals, that is polysepalous. Polysepalous means sepals are free. And after that, if I'm giving it is in bracket, means what you will write, 4 sepals are there and the sepals are united, or it is in a gamosepalous condition, or the sepals are fused. Okay, 4 sepals but they are fused, that's why I'm giving in a bracket. And suppose if I'm giving K2 plus 2, how you can explain that? 4 sepals are there but in 2 whorls. 4 sepals, here 2 plus 2, total 4 sepals are there but in 2 separate whorls, in 2 whorls. Okay, and each whorl is having, in 2 whorls, which is having 2 in each, 2 sepals in each. Okay, next the same way will represent corolla. Okay, so corolla, that is C. Okay, so in the same way you can explain corolla also. Corolla we can write 4 petals. Here in the instead of sepals we'll say petals, right? So 4 petals and polypetalous. If I'm writing C4, 4 petals are there, that is polypetalous. It's not fused, or petals are free. And if I'm giving it in bracket, 4 petals, that is gamopetalous, and 2 plus 2 means 4 petals, that in 2 sets. That means each whorl is having 2 petals. Next is perianth. Perianth will represent by the letter P, and if I'm writing P5 or P6, I'm writing here six tepals are there, and that is polytepalous. Then P3 plus 3 I'm giving means 6 tepals are there in 2 whorls, and each whorl is having 3. Okay, and that 3 plus 3, if I'm giving P3 plus 3 in bracket, each whorl, that 6 tepals, that is gamotepalous. Okay. Next, andrecium. Andrecium will mention by letter A, and andrecium we can represent here. If I'm writing A6 means 6 stamens are there and stamens are free. If I'm writing 2 plus 4, A2 plus 4, it is representing 6 stamens are there, but in two stamens, in one whorl 2 stamens, and another bundle it is having 4. Okay, and if I'm writing A0 means stamens are absent in that flower, but you have to mention andrecium 0, A0. Okay, and if I'm writing infinity, that means infinite number of stamens are there. Okay, and if I'm writing A10, that means stamens, 10 stamens are there, and it is in monoadelphous condition. And if I'm writing 1 plus 9 like this is in one family, it will come like this. 1 means this 1 is free, and these 9 stamens are united or they are fused. Okay, then sometimes we will write like C, it will connect like this, P A. Okay, that means the andrecium, that is epipetalous. Okay, it is corolla. We are connecting to the corolla symbol, right? C. That means epipetalous. It is attached to the petals. And epiphyllous. Here you can see it is connected to the perianth. That means epiphyllous, we'll tell. Then about gynoecium also. In gynoecium, the same thing. In the same way, we need to tell. Here the gynoecium is absent means we'll write gynoecium is absent in G0, we'll write. And gynoecium G2 means gynoecium that is having 2 carpels and apocarpus. Apocarpus. Like this we are writing means it's apocarpus. We need to read that. And if we are writing G, and on top we are giving a line that shows, and here 2 carpels I'm writing, that is also fused. Okay, so bicarpellary, first we need to read bicarpellary and syncarpus, this is fused. So syncarpus and inferior, under that line means ovary is inferior ovary. Okay, inferior ovary we need to tell. Then if we are writing like this, same thing we are writing like this here, bicarpellary syncarpus superior ovary, ovary is above the line, that means superior ovary. Okay, then how will mention the syncarpus, bicarpellary syncarpus semi-inferior ovary, how we will mention here like this. This is gynoecium, we are mentioning bicarpellary syncarpus condition we mention now. Now semi-inferior ovary, how you will mention like this, semi-inferior, middle portion you need to give that line. So by using these terms, we are writing several, we are learning about several families like characters of Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae and all we need to learn. Okay, so each flower you need to learn like that. So that shows the character of family. Like we can say in Solanaceae, commonly Solanaceae means in potato family, like we can see herbs, shrubs, small trees and all. So flowers, that will be solitary flowers or axile or cymose, and in that bisexual, flower is bisexual, right? So bisexual, how you will show? You will show like this symbol you will show, right? And You can learn it very easily. Say in the Cruciferous family or Brassicaceae family, here this is the floral diagram. Okay, here first which one you are using? That is abractate. Okay, and this means what? Actinomorphic, right? It's actinomorphic, and this is bisexual. Both male and female parts are there. And here K, calyx, that is in 2+2 condition. Okay, 2+2 condition. The calyx, it is, that means the sepals are free, but it is in two groups. Then corolla, here you can see corolla, four numbers are there, corolla. Okay, corolla 4 and all are free. See, that's how we are giving the floral diagram. See, if you're cutting like this, here you can see all the characters. Okay, there is no brand and both male and female parts are there, right? See, anther, this is the anther symbol and this is the gynoecium. Okay, androecium and gynoecium both are there, so you can say bisexual flower. And here calyx 2+2, here you can see these two are a single type and these two both are covering, so this is another type. That's why K 2+2. And C4, C means corolla. In that petals, 4 petals are there. Here 1 2 3 4, 4 petals you can see. Next comes androecium 2+4. Okay, can you see this? These are the anthers. The anther symbol they have given like this, a butterfly like structure that mentions the anther. Okay, so that anther, if you are taking a cross section, how that structure will come, that's what they are mentioning here, the anther. Here you can see 4, 1 2 3 4, these 4 anthers in one group, and these two, that is another group, but those are free, not fused. Okay, and gynoecium, here they have given, this is the gynoecium, and you can see here the condition of this Brassicaceae family. Here gynoecium is bicarpellary. You can see two sides, you can see bicarpellary, and that is united. Okay, bicarpellary syncarpus, that's why we have given that 2 in bracket. Okay, so that's how you need to write the floral formula of each one. Clear? So in the same way, we are mentioning the floral formula of Malvaceae family. It's, see here you can see the difference, bractate and the flower characters, then calyx, corolla, and rhizome, gynoecium, everything we need to mention. See, it is also bisexual, and calyx, here you can see 5, and corolla 5 petals are there. See, here we are mentioning. Then androecium, infinite number of androecium, and gynoecium here above the line. That means superior ovary. Ovary is superior. In hibiscus, have you seen here? Here you can see the ovary. This is the ovary. So it's above that. So it's superior ovary. And that's how we need to mention the floral diagram also. Okay. And next about Solanaceae family, you can see here the floral structure and here the floral diagram. This is abractate and actinomorphic, bisexual, then K5, here calyx 5, corolla 5, and androecium 5. And here you can see this connection. What is that? Calyx, sorry, corolla and androecium, that connection, that is epipetalous condition. Okay, epipetalous condition. Next is gynoecium. The gynoecium, that is superior ovary. This is gynoecium, shows the superior ovary, and gynoecium, it is in syncarpous condition. And here you may get confused, like in pea plant or leguminosae family, we said this is the floral diagram of clitoria. Okay, so here you can see the standard petal, wing petals, and keel petal. Okay, and here this is the condition of gynoecium. uh, this is the ovary, style, and stigma, and here you can see the calyx. See, this is the calyx which is covering, and inside you can see the ovary, style, and stigma. This is a standard petal, that big one, blue color, which you can see, that is a standard petal. Okay, and here the andrecium, you can see the difference. This is a single stamen, and another 9 stamens, or the anthers, they are together. So here 1 plus 9 or 9 plus 1 you can write. Here you can see that bractate and bisexual flower, calyx, 5 corolla, 5, but calyx is united. See, you can see all the sepals are fused. And here andrecium, 9 plus 1 condition, and here the gynoecium, that is superior ovary. Okay, ovary is superior. See, it's above. Okay. In composite family also, here you can see in the family of sunflower and all, you need to write 2 floral diagram. About disc floret, ray floret also you need to write. About disc floret also you need to write. So both in disc floret, what and all you can see, in ray floret, what and all you can see. Both you need to write separately. See here bractate we have given, see the bract is there in disc, in ray floret, and this is the, in that only the female part will be there, and in the same way you have to write the disfloret also. Okay, that is bisexual, and the floral formula you have to write separately. Disfloret and afloret, the floral formula will be separate. Okay, so now let's see, we have covered almost all the portions. You have to go through text, because we, in a quick review, we cannot go in detail so much. So as much as possible I have covered almost all the portions. And now let's see which type of question will come from this. See, from root, stem, and all, you know, you can understand which type of question, like pneumatophores, they will occur in which type. Pneumatophores, they are the, about pneumatophore you can, you'll get one question in 2018, they have asked that you can find in which one pneumatophores. They are the respiratory roots, breathing or respiratory roots. So you can see that in halophytes, halophytes, like mangroves. Okay, in halophytes or mangrove plants you can see. So halophytes, they will grow in saline swamps, and they are the respiratory roots which is coming out of water. And what they will do, they'll pick up oxygen and they'll do respiration. Okay, and excess carbon dioxide, that is also given out. So it is occurring through small pores which is called as lenticels. Okay, then some questions like roots are absent in options, you will get like wolfia, lamina, pistia, podostimon, and all. So in which one? In wolfia, because roots are generally absent in wolfia, and that is the duckweed. This is an aquatic plant which is absorbing nutrients through the rhizophores. Okay, so in that way you need to think. So such questions, direct questions, you will get like cuticle, that is absent in mesophytes, or young roots, or mature stems, or leaves, like that questions you will get. Okay, cuticle, in which one cuticle is absent? Cuticle is absent in young roots, right? Because cuticle means it's a covering. So if there is a waxy layer or covering is there, means water absorption will not take place, right? So in root portion you will not get the cuticle. And if you're moving to the stem portion again, bougainvillea thorns, they are the modifications of which one? Stem. Bougainvillea thorns are the modification of the stem. See, and the example of edible underground stem. Edible underground stem modification, which is that uh, groundnut, potato, carrot, sweet potato, which is the stem modification? Potato, right? That is a stem modification. And how ginger is multiplying vegetatively by rhizome, right? All these are the stem modifications. Then about leaf, which type of questions you will get? Related to leaf, which type of question will you get? Leaf tendrils. That leaf tendrils, that is a modification of what, and how leaves will become modified into spines. Then features of leaf. So such questions you will get from leaf. Then about inflorescence, different types of inflorescence, and you will get a question like cyathium inflorescence is found in what? In which type of plant? Ficus, euphorbia, Dostenia, morus, and all. So you should learn the examples of each inflorescence. Okay, so cyathium inflorescence is found in euphorbia. Okay, in ficus, which one you can see? Hypanthodium and Dostenia, Xananthium inflorescence, and in morus, which one? Catkin inflorescence. So you should have an idea about plants and the inflorescence type. Okay, and flower, what is zygomorphic, what is actinomorphic, and they'll ask the question like by giving a floral formula, which one is representing what. So such kind of questions only you can. And what is unilocular ovary, what is multilocular ovary, and which um, a flower, if we can divide into two equal halves only through one plane, what it is called? It is called as actinomorphic or zygomorphic. And thalamus of hypogynous ovary, how it will be. And placentation in tomato and lemon, what is that? Which type of placentation? So those questions you will get from which one? Flower portion, right? Then about fruit, coconut or mango, that is which type of fruit? And the question, palm fruit is found in which type? Example, give an example for palm fruit. So here almost you will get the question from the examples. Then when we are coming to the seed, again here seed, different parts of that seed, and what is that, how seed dehiscence is taking place. Then the angiosperm families we discussed, right? Like the floral formula from that, or writing the floral formula, what do you mean by that? Symbols of which one, like syncarpus or multicarpellary, how we'll mention all those things, and which is the most advanced family. And the chili, sometimes they'll give the chili plant and you have to find out, they'll give example as chili and you have to write the correct floral formula in chili. So you should have an idea about the chili plant, chili flower and all, and you should write the floral formula. Okay, so these are the simple questions you will get. So here the thing is, you have to learn very clearly about these symbols while writing about the floral formula. So clearly you need to learn about each part of plant. Okay, morphology should be clear. About plant morphology, you should be clear. That flower, especially that floral, from flower onwards, you should be very careful. Each term you should learn correctly. Okay. So gamopetalous, gamosepalous, you should have an idea. Gamo means, if that term is coming, means that is showing the fused form. Okay, polysepalous, polypetalous, that and all shows the separated ones. Okay, so like that, some technically you should be good in this. Then only you can learn about the families and how to write the floral formula and all. It's very easy. If you are going through all these terms, floral formula and floral diagram will be very easy for you. Okay, nothing more in this chapter. So that's all. We have already covered the morphology of flowering plants. Okay, thank you.